Welcome back to More Moss to the People. This is Asa Nilsson, and I am your host. Today, I have Marcie Hirschie with me from Las Vegas, Nevada, and we had a little bit of a conundrum occur. Her sister was supposed to be on with us today, but a little bit of a timing mishap. No big deal. We pivot and we go forward anyway. So this is perfect. Now we get to have Marcie to ourselves, and we were going to discuss some beautiful, interesting stories, and you're going to find out who this angel of a woman is. So, hi, Marcie, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It is a pleasure. I was thinking about the second that you came onto the camera. I was like, oh my gosh, look, it looks so warm there. It looks so nice. Oh, what a dream.
80 degrees. It's like summer.
80
Summer.
degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was 80 degrees here, we would all be sitting outside right now. I can assure you, Sweden doesn't get so hot anymore. But yeah, so welcome and thank you for being on More Moss to the People. Now, I want to kind of explain who you are to me, how you came into my life and into my world. Because we only meet people virtually. Back in the 2020s, I met you in a group called the Support System with Sherry Salata, and you were then doing some work with a person by the name of Joanne, who I have become good friends with. And I remember following your journey with Joanne when you guys decided to go to Italy for a few months. So I want to start there, but first I would love for you to just introduce yourself and tell us, who are you?
Well, my name is Marcie Hirschie, and I am a massage therapist. I am a authenticity coach. I help others find their true self and honor that by showing up how they want instead of following that path always set up for us, like from when we're a kid, right?
Yes.
We just keep on following that path. But so I am an authenticity coach, and I guide people in meditation. And so many people who say that they don't know how to meditate, they don't like to meditate, and then we learn how fun meditation can be, you know?
I need to learn from you.
We meditate all the time. You know, I was just meditating this morning when I was making breakfast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like when you're cutting something, I do that kind of stuff, but the whole sitting down and like, I'm quieting my mind now.
See, and that's the problem, because people think that is meditation. I have to sit up straight and I can't let my mind go here. It's like meditation is falling in love with life.
Ooh, I love that.
That's
what
it.
Do you mean? Wait, hold on a second. What do you mean? That's all meditation is, falling in love with life?
I mean,
love my life.
I know that is meditation. Falling in love with life, allowing the universe to court you with your senses.
Oh, how beautiful.
You know?
Court.
Right?
First of all, I love the word courting. Yes, court me. Please court me, universe.
Did you know that that's what's happening? I mean, look outside, especially where you live.
Yeah.
Like you took us on a journey in the moss, and I mean, feeling your feet squishing in that moss, smelling the air. You know, that's it. That's a meditation right there.
That is my form of meditation, right? To be able to sit down, I do have to listen to something guided if I am sitting down to say, now I am meditating. But if I am making a pot of coffee, or if I'm walking in the forest and I'm just feeling my feet on the ground, and I'm just going to fill in what you just said to whoever's listening. The other day, I did a video for Marcie and her sister in the forest, because when we had met to do your podcast, then you had said that you'd never been in a forest. You had never touched moss. And I was like, yes. Oh, wait, what? You had never touched moss? I'm like, oh my gosh. All right, well, I'm going to have to explain what this feels like or even looks like, which is kind of hard to do when I'm just doing a video and showing you how my sneaker was going into the moss and how soft it was and how beautiful. So I shared that with you, which was fun. Yes. Oh, I love that thought of courting with the universe. See, now that also takes off pressure, like of performance.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing. And this is kind of like what we've been doing with Love Your Face too, with my sister, because I coach people with my sister too, Therina Simmons, and we help others just follow their own path. And so many times we try to squish ourselves into this mold that's set up for us, including meditation.
Yep.
You know, everybody learns a different way. We all show up in this own individual package here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe that we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
And I'm in this body. This is unique to me. And my experience of the world is unique to me.
That's right.
No one has the same experience as me. So my meditation practice is going to be different. The way I show up is going to be different. You know, the way I learn things different. You know, some people like to read things.
Yeah.
And that's how they learn. Some people are hands-on people. That's how they learn. And it's the same for meditation. Some people need a guide. Some people fall in love like you walking in the forest.
Yes. Yes. And I think it's really important to note that meditation can be other things too. You know, maybe what we have put it into a little box as isn't all that it is. It can be, It can be making a sandwich or slicing a piece of bread or making the coffee or going into the shower and feeling the water on your, I love that feeling of the water hitting my scalp and having the water just go down my body. Like,
If you go in the shower, and so you're using all of your senses, feeling what the water feels like, the temperature, like just how it feels rolling on your skin, and then your sense of smell. Like, what does the water smell like? What does your soap smell like? What does your shampoo smell like? All of that.
I love it.
Just experiencing the shower.
Yes. Well, it's also being present, right? I mean, this whole part of being mindful of the moment and, you know, love the life you have and live a life you love is one of the things that you say. And I think that is so beautiful. Why couldn't we allow ourselves to actually love the life that we have? Right. I mean, this is it. If this is it and we're not loving it, whose fault is that? You know, it's kind of like what we were talking about before. All we got to do, we don't have to ask for permission. We don't have to ask anybody for permission. The permission is already granted. We have the permission. It's called our life. We were born. And so that was the permission that you needed. And that's it.
Yes. Absolutely.
So you and your sis, you guys work together. Then you have it's a group program that you offer, like 30-day programs and things like that, called Love Your Face. Is that right? Yes. So explain that for us, please, so that other people can understand, because who doesn't want to love their face?
Right. Well, we came together because I am a life coach. And when I was going through school to become a life coach, I had Therina, my sister Therina, as one of my test subjects. So
people.
I was coaching her through some things, and then we realized that we had so many things in common, like goals that we wanted to share. So we decided to come together because I talk about, I help people find their superpower. And her superpower is seeing the beauty in everyone. She can automatically see the beauty in people. And I love everybody in the room. My superpower is love. And we came together and decided Love Your Face was our thing. And so we were going to offer these 30-day challenges to people, because they say it takes anywhere from 18 to, I think, 254 days to break a habit.
254 days?
That's a big spread, isn't it?
That's
from
a big
18
spread.
days to 254 days. That's almost a year. That's a long time, right?
Yeah.
30 days. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks for you to start feeling comfortable in your new skin. So 30 days, then it starts to feel normal. But those first 30 days can be a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
So in our group, it's like an accountability partner, right? And somebody to help guide you along to following the path to your dream.
How did you decide that, when were you called to do this kind of work, and why?
Well, I was working at a high-end spa here in Las Vegas, and I was over about 70 different therapists that, sometimes some of them, they just weren't happy coming to work. They wish they were somewhere else. They wish they were doing something else, but it's like, this is what it is. That phrase, this is what it is.
Yeah, I hate it. Is what it is. I'm like, oh no.
No, it is what is. It is what is, and you get to take what is and create with that. What is it that you want? If you want to be there, you can absolutely be there. So my friend, our mutual friend, Joanne, we decided that we wanted to go see what it was like to live in Italy.
Yeah.
So I quit my job. We moved to Italy for 2 months.
Hold on. I love it. That's like one of my dreams to do this. And so how did, because that takes some serious chutzpah. I'm going to say that because that's a little kinder than the balls that I want to say. It took balls to do that. How long did it take from time, like the thought, the inception, to the time of actually getting on that plane and going? How long did you have?
Well, we decided, it was May of last year. Not last year. It was a couple years ago. It was May. So let's just say May.
Okay.
I quit my job. I told my people, look, this is how it's done. My job.
Watch me.
Right? I made this impossible goal because it did seem impossible to me. How am I going to go live in Italy? I don't even know the language. I don't know where and how and all of that. So we just met together. We started meeting together, Joanne and I. We started dreaming about what it would look like, just imagining ourselves there, playing the part in our imagination. Well, then what we have to do is we have to set a date.
Yep.
When are we going to go? And we did. We set a date. Once we set that date, once we made that commitment, because I think that's another thing to get really, really serious about. Are you interested or are you committed?
Right.
Because once you make that commitment, it's like magic.
Yep.
It was almost like a weight was lifted off. It's like, we're going.
Yeah. Oh, we're going.
We bought the tickets. Now we've bought airfare. We found our place to live. We decided where we wanted to live. We want to live in Florence.
Florence. Yeah.
Want to live in Florence.
Yeah. Florence is good.
So we just designed it after that. But that was the key right there, is making the commitment and then showing up as that person. If I am the person who lives in Italy, what am I doing? What do I need to do to get there? And then it was just magic after that.
So how long from May till touchdown?
Oh yeah. And then we left in March. We spent March and April.
Okay. So May till next March.
Okay.
Wow.
That was just, you can set your own time frame.
Yeah.
That's just what comfortable for us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gosh,
and then we started reaching out to people who lived in Italy.
How'd you find them?
We were doing the podcast together. We started searching people on Instagram. Who do we want to meet?
Who can we interview in Italy and ask about their life?
Here's the funniest story. So while we were living in Florence, for the first half of the time, the first month, we were living in the, out in the country in a villa. And I had to take the bus to go into the town, into the city of Florence. And so I had this book that I was out searching for wine doors in Florence. It was like a scavenger hunt. looking for those old wine doors. So I had my face in my book and my map, looking around the city, and I hear somebody saying Marcie, calling for Marcie. And my name's Marcie, but I'm in Florence on the other side of the world. So no one's talking to me. I don't know anybody here. So I just keep going, and they keep calling my name. And it was for me. It was somebody that we had met through the podcast. No and way. She recognized me. I'm walking down the street in Florence, and somebody's calling my name that we've never met before, like in reality, right? Like in real life. And wow, isn't it amazing how we can become this way?
Yes, I love it. I love it. And so that's the thing. It's like we have new friends all over the world. Right. The technology and the ability for us to meet like this, me in Sweden, you in Las Vegas, your sister in Utah, people all over the world. Now I want to start reaching out to some Italians because I definitely, that is my goal, is to move to southern France for several months a year and also to be in Italy for several months. So I've always wondered how you guys did that, because when I moved to Sweden, I did that as well. My time frame was much longer. I had 2 years to plan from the time of my decision and my commitment to the time that I actually relocated with my cat across the pond. So I understand. It is nuts. And I'm sorry, my telephone keeps doing this. It is beautiful how that takes so much. It shows, first of all, it shows character. Like, tell me who you are. I'll see by your actions. And I'm seeing by your actions that you are a woman that makes a decision for herself and is like, I have nothing to be ashamed of. I have my own wishes, wants, and needs. And then, like, when we start from this place, right? Because doesn't the world want you at that highest and best, right? Your highest level, right? Permission to be you, granted. You're doing it, you're living it, and then you're showing other people. And I just think that is such a leadership role, such a quality that I absolutely admire in other people. I love it. Of course, that's also why I'm like, it's like a little moth to the flame, because it not everybody can do that. Not everybody's willing to do that. And that's it right there. Yeah. That's the choice. Yes. Because there's the work. That's where the work comes in. And it doesn't have to be hard, right? It's like, let it be easy. Can it be easy when we have come from a place of, I'm so excited about this opportunity. And I watch you, you say that your superpower is love. I totally agree with you. And I love it too. I love love. That is one of the most beautiful things in the world, to be able to share that, to be able to see that, and to be able to be that, and to have your sis who is so gifted at being able to see the beauty in others like this, right? To sniff that out so quickly and to be able to work with it too. Now, you said, this is a quote from your website, I'm going to read it. My lifelong career as a highly functioning codependent left me feeling exhausted at work and anxious in my relationships. I was like, talking my language, which is, I left the language behind me because I have chosen not to be a codependent person anymore. And I'm learning new behaviors and new patterns that are healthy for myself and for the world then. So can you talk a little bit about that for you? How has that shown up in your life, and how do you take care of yourself first?
Oh my goodness. I couldn't even go to a restaurant without asking somebody else what I should eat. I would walk in and here's a menu in front of me. I have all the options and I'm still like, well, what would you have? What do you suggest? Which is fine. Except like I can make a choice on my own. And that's how I would show up in all the things. I would depend on others to tell me what to do because I was so worried about making a wrong choice. And I mean, that's part of my upbringing. Is not that something that they put on me. It's just what I created for myself with my own worries and anxiety and all of those feelings that we come with, right? But when I just noticed, like, I am burnt out, I'm tired, and I'm not my best self.
Yeah.
So that was my wake up call. How am I going to make this shift?
Yeah.
And learning that my thoughts create my feelings. It's not what's happening in the world around me. It's not the world happening to me. It's the world is happening and I have a thought about what's happening. And that is what's creating the feeling inside me. It's not you telling me something and you hurting my feelings. I hurt my own feelings by the thoughts I think about what you just said. It's my responsibility. Isn't that wild?
Yes, I love that.
I know it's like a hard thing for people to grasp that. And sometimes I have to be reminded that too, even though I know it in my heart.
Yeah.
I have my own coach that coaches me through that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way we've been made, you know, in order to survive.
Yeah.
But
what we, you know, it's like what we become. And then how do we then, not necessarily only as adults, because it can happen much, much earlier than that. Once you recognize that there's something inside of you or how you're acting and reacting isn't in line anymore with how you want to show up in your life now. And, and did you find that, when did that start to change for you? When did you start to recognize that I'm going to a restaurant and I'm like asking everybody else what I should have to eat versus just paying attention to my own needs? When did that kind of start to shift for you?
Well, a while ago, my friend Joanne introduced me to Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks.
Yeah.
And I was like, this thought that everything always works out for me. I love that. I'm going to test this out. Let's see, because I like to pick a word for the year. And my word, this was like 2020. My word for the year was love. That's when my love journey started, was 2020. I wanted to bring more love into my life, and love was my word. And my phrase was, everything always works out for me. So I started practicing that word, and something would come up. Well, everything always works out for me, which means it comes from me. I have to make this choice. How am I going to turn this into something that works out for me? But everything always does. And the proof comes out, you know? So that was my first practice. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works for me.
Yeah, I've loved that from Abraham Hicks also. I like to say that as well, because it reminds us, it reconnects us to the power of the choice. The choice of, I can say, whatever I'm looking for, I'm going to find, right? If I'm looking for trouble, I'm going to find trouble. If I'm looking for love and peace and harmony, I'm going to be finding love and peace and harmony. And I think that's so important to do what you said about having a year, a word for the year or a thought for the year. I love that. I started also with when I wake up in the morning, I say, today's the best day of my life. Today is the best day of my life. And then, like, the first time I did it, it was like I felt my body go like click, like something like connected inside of me, like, yes, it is. And I was like, oh, I just got chills thinking about it. That means it's a truth bump again. I always get truth bumps every time I do these calls.
I love that. Truth bumps.
I do too. I heard that from Yvonne Chung. I love her. And she was connected to me from Joanne also. We've said Joanne's name like 52 times on this podcast episode already. I love her.
Oh my gosh, it's like Joanne's here.
I know. She's always here. She's everywhere. She's like the enigma. Oh my goodness, oh my God, I love it. I'm sorry that your sister couldn't be on tonight, but I wanted you to be a part of the More Moss movement with me, because I know that even though you're in a world away from me as far as your location and the temperatures and the, like, what everything is like there, we're on the same path. We're on the same path, and we want to help other people. We want to lift other people. We know it's important to take care of ourselves first and foremost, connecting through with source, God, whatever anybody believes in. Working together, helping to rise each other up. That is the point of More Moss to the People. And that is the point of Love Your Face. And there's a point of everything, I think, that we both touch in this world. And I wanted my people to meet you too, so that they could fall in love with your face. And I wish your sister was here, but maybe she'll do the next time. We'll do her. I can actually have her on her own show, and then she can talk to us about how she teaches self-love through fashion, which is powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. What she talks about also. So I was going to ask you what your superpower was, but you've already said that it was to love, to be loved. Do you have? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, the love and knowing everything always works out for me. Like we were talking about, everything begins with a thought. I was thinking about your thought, how you said today is the best day of my life. And sometimes when we have that master thought that guides us, sometimes it can be a challenge to believe it in the beginning. But as you practice it, it becomes part of you, and it gives you the permission to show up and let go of the worry, because everything always does work out for me. And today is the best day of my life.
We
prove our own thought to be true.
Yes. Yeah. And so what do you want to say? Do you want to say that it's terrific and fantastic and I feel joy and happiness and I see love? I do. Yeah. I choose that. I choose to feel joy.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to Sweden tonight.
Thank you. Awesome.
I will see you on the flip side, and maybe we could do another time with your sis, or I'll just ask her to come on by herself. But thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Have a beautiful day.
Oh, thank you. You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.